So Daniel managed to pump out another paper. Sorry, it's cold. He managed to pop out another paper here, Stellar Metamorphosis, Classification of Astrons within 20 light years. I won't read the whole thing out. I wanted to print it out for my own records because I know how the internet is sometimes, especially these days. Things like to disappear and get censored. That's no bueno. But anyways, good job, Daniel. Excellent work. Excellent work. This is something really exciting that I can look over and see where the theory is developing, kind of out of my hands, if you will. Hands-free, laissez-faire. I want to see this theory work and become real without my influence. Honestly, that was one of the main goals I have in my little cheat sheet here. My original goal was to create something other people would design so I could study the progress of the correct type of theory. I got tired of the same old Big Bang black hole nonsense that led to nothing of significance. Every time I would go on Discovery Channel, every time I would go on National Geographic and watch shows, it was the same crap. Oh, the Big Bang blew up and then created the entire universe, and scientists are trying to figure out how the Big Bang happened. I was like, what the hell does that have to do with anything? I mean, in all seriousness, a scientist can't even comprehend the size of a single galaxy. 100,000 light years of diameter isn't something a scientist can comprehend, yet they're like, we know how the entire universe formed. We can imagine it in our super genius brains. Come on, man. I wanted something real, something tangible, something that can explain how rocks and minerals are formed, why volcanoes exist, why we're here, what we are. Not some hypothetical giant explosion of nothing. Come on. Anyways, I'm going reverse here. Back to Daniel. This is the first time evolving stars, Astrons, have been put on a classification table, inside of a classification scheme, inside of a new theory that's never existed before. This is absolutely wonderful. I can't put into words how much I appreciate you doing this, Daniel. I'm impressed because the amount of work it takes just to get a single paragraph down from somebody working on the theory, it's like pulling teeth. But you have a whole 5 pages here of ideas, and you go along with them and you make sense of them in a way that I didn't see before, and I'm sure others haven't seen before either. And don't worry about it being wrong with any of the classifications of the objects. It always can be reworked, tweaked, redefined, everything. It can always be fixed. Kind of look at it like the periodic table was back in the late 1800s, early 1900s, when we were still discovering elements and we were confusing some compounds for pure substances. Like I think ammonia was considered its own element, so to speak, but we learned that it was actually, nitrogen and hydrogen. But anyways, it can be tweaked, it can be designed better, always, even if you spend your entire life on something like this, it can always be made better and better and better. So don't worry about it being wrong or inexact or having typos. That's something that can always be fixed over time. The most important part is that you made it exist. That is number one. Ross 128b, dinosaurs. I'm so glad you put that in there. That being said, there's a much higher chance of dinosaurs being on this object versus the old school, 1800s, 1700s life on Venus, life on Mars type things. And we, zoomed in on them and realized Venus is like 900 degrees on the surface. And Mars is basically a dead world. In this theory, it's a dead star, so is Venus. Venus just has some CO2 left over, and that's, going to boil away, and it's going to look like Mars eventually. But dinosaurs are very important. And I also picked dinosaurs because they have such a long period of time that they existed for. It's not like, human beings where we're supposedly here 8 million years max of hominids. That's like this. Dinosaurs, dinosaur-like creatures, they're like, what, 300, 400 million years, something like that? That's a huge stretch of time. If we're going to find life on other planets, big life that we can go, holy shit, there's a Tyrannosaurus Rex walking around. This creature that's the size of a of a small house that can swallow you in one bite, just walking around the surface. That would be absolutely incredible. That's what's going to take to get people motivated to get up there in spaceships to explore even more. Sure, we might run into bacteria life and small little creatures running around, and a lot of sea life that requires lots of water to exist and lives inside of water. But dinosaurs, for sure, I think that taps into something a lot more primal than just a jellyfish, squealing about in the ocean. That being said, there's a lot more to discover out there than what we realize. And I'm super excited about the TESS telescope finding way, way, way more Astrons out there. And we'll be able to fill in all these different classification graphs and schemes. And we'll be able to really understand life itself. And I just hope that this theory can help facilitate that. And if anybody wants to write up a short paper, if it's a paragraph, I don't care. If it's a 5-page, 2,000-word essay, I don't care. As long as it's your idea, and as long as it's, designing the theory in light of this discovery, you can go crazy with it. I don't really mind. I actually would like other people to work on it because, I'm just losing my mind over this. It's a lot of work. And getting other people to work on it too is just like, whoa, it's bigger than me. It's always been bigger than me. And I've known this. I've known this since I stumbled upon it myself. And to see other people like Daniel work on it, I've yet to see a paper by Adam. I know Evo's written a paper. I know Baz, you've been an incredible help with the graphics and helping me design the theory as well. It's just, there's going to be even more people, and I just don't know where they're going to pop up. I don't know when they're going to pop up. And it's just incredible. Okay, you guys, I don't want to keep on rambling, but I'll link Daniel's paper to the bottom. He has two. There's the paper that he lines down all the stuff and he explains a few things. And then there's another one where he has a printable version where he flips the graph, so when you print it out, it's easy to read. It's not, sideways. All right, guys, today is February 5th, 2019. Later.